BuffPro, what is going on? Welcome to the podcast, also known as Dane. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Sorry
man.
about
I was pretty hyped.
we had a little reschedule. I was sick last week. I drank old eggnog.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That'll
So I'm
do it.
like on my way to work in the morning. I'm like, oh man, I don't feel so good. It'll go away. I'm at work and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I'm dying.
Dude. Sickness is the worst, man.
Yeah.
I had a whole family sick over Christmas break, like as soon as we get ready to pack the car up and we're traveling, the kids get sick, everybody's sick. We get down there, the whole family's sick, it's just it was that's what wintertime does, I guess.
Yeah, 'tis the season to get sick. And
Absolutely.
the gyms also get super packed.
Oh God, yeah. You been?
Yeah, yesterday I was, and like right as I was leaving, there was this just like flood of people coming in, and I'm like, oh right, it's January. Oh no.
Yeah. I started the gym I go to, man, is pretty small. I go to a boxing gym and I haven't been very consistent here at all, but it's a good gym, man. It's cool. I like it. It's good atmosphere.
You getting ready for a creator clash?
Oh my God, dude. I wish. I wish so bad. You have no idea. I would love. We called out Big Ed from 90 Day
Yeah,
Fiance.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Called him out, man. Was hoping. I was hoping,
like,
I was telling Kenny the whole time. I was like, dude, if I make this happen, I was like, you're welcome. He's like, oh man, I ain't gonna lie. I'd almost love to punch Big Ed.
Dude, it would be so fun to like do like the announcing part though. Like, ladies and gentlemen, coming down to the ring. Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. I'd like to be on the commentary during like one of those fights.
Oh, I know. How fun would that be?
Yeah.
So iDubbbz, if you're listening, hit us up.
We got this. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Clint, we'll go in there.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
That would be.
Speaking of gyms, I actually used to work at a gym, and I have a really gross story if you want to hear it.
Well, it depends, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's gross, but it's not that gross.
All right.
We had a poop bandit at the gym who was using the tanning room trash can like to relieve themselves. And like it was going on like 5 days, and like we could not like track this person down. So finally, a guy named Brian at the front desk would check after every single person because he was like determined. So he finally found the poop bandit, and I'm still like surprised. It was an 18-year-old girl who used to work there who was like angry. Yeah, like she got fired.
Oh,
so that's how you get back at somebody? Like,
yeah, that is revenge, man. It serves sweet and stanky sometimes.
Like, so she's 18 doing this, like, and this was probably 8 years ago. Can you imagine like the monster she is today? Like,
yeah, for real.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
Wow.
So that's my poop bandit story from when I used to work at the gym.
I got a poop. I don't know if he's the poop bandit, but he was definitely the poop guy. I was working at a retail store years ago, and funny story, I actually got Ken a job there too. And anyway, this guy comes in. He's an older gentleman, and it's one of the stores you got to show your membership,
Mm-hmm.
And this guy refused to show his membership at the door, and they're like, "Sir, come back," like he goes, "I have got to go." And they're like, "But what about your card, man? Like, I don't think we should let you in here, And the guy ends up going to the bathroom. He comes back, and like, there's a trail.
Oh,
yeah, there's like a trail, like dog food almost, and awful, dude. He comes out of the bathroom with something in his hand, and he comes out with his, underwear. And he's like, he goes up to the manager and he walks up to the lady at the front and he goes, "Look what you made me do." Oh, dude, I was like, I swear to God, I would have called the cops right then.
Just like jump in a pool of bleach or something after that. It's like,
yeah.
So where are you at?
I am now in Philly. I'm now.
Oh, you're
Philly.
On the East Coast. Okay.
Yeah. I made the 1,000-mile move, I guess, September 21 from Mississippi.
Okay. You were telling me you got married, right?
Yeah, I got married.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I got married and got a kid, 2 kids we're raising, and
You're a married
yeah,
old man now.
dude, the Grays just kind of showed up, one day.
Well, I'm not too far behind you. I mean, I got a couple in here that I'm just like trying to
Yeah.
hide, cover it up.
Don't sneak them out, man. They come back with a passion.
Did you say you're from Mississippi?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't like you don't really have an accent at all.
dude. Funny story, man. Most people say that. My mom is from Ohio. My dad's from Ohio. And I guess right before I was born, they moved to Mississippi because of like Cooper Tire, and that's where dad was working. My mom refused to let me sound like everyone else there. If I had said anything with an accent, it'd be a smack. It was no, hey mama, none of that. Bam, I'm mom. Yeah. So I guess I don't have much of the accent, but my brother and sister, I guess mom got tired by the time they were born. So they got one, yeah, everybody else has one back home. I let my wife listen to one of my buddies when he calls me, and she's like, what did he just say?
When you go kind of like over towards like certain parts of Tennessee, it's like not as like pronounced.
No.
If you've been there.
Yeah, it's different. Like, because I'm about an hour. I was about an hour and a half from Memphis. So Memphis and Tupelo, they everyone around that area has about the same accent. But yeah, I guess the further east you go, it changes.
Yeah, it's like it's there, but it's not like overly southern. I dated a girl from Tennessee a while back, a long time ago. But
yeah, does she have the talk real slow draw?
No, not really. She was it was like very faint, but like when she got angry, I noticed like it would kind of turn up a little bit.
Yeah.
But she was very like prissy too, which I think probably takes away from the Tennessee accent.
Yeah, sometimes. You'd be surprised, man. Some of them Southern Belles, man, they got it. The attitude, the accent, all of it, bro. It's pretty cool.
So I creeped a little bit on your YouTube page, and it looked like you had League of Legends on as like your first upload.
Yeah, as a kid, just there wasn't much to do in Mississippi, so I found the other nerds, and we gamed. Halo 1 on the original Xbox was huge.
Yeah, I remember.
For me,
yeah,
that was like we created a whole community and competed in AGPs before MLG became a thing. Then we went to MLGs, like. Yeah, we got sponsored and everything.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, holy smokes!
Semi-pro for a while.
Oh, wow. I mean, do you still like play it all like here and there, or not really? League of Legends.
Yes, I do and I don't. I take long breaks because when I get into it, I'm like, oh man, it comes back. That competitive itch. So I gotta dial it down. Take them long breaks.
This might sound like blasphemy, but I thought League of Legends was World of Warcraft when I first looked at it. I was like, oh, I know that game. That's World of Warcraft. It's like, oh no, that's a completely different game. Look at me and I'm like a casual gamer.
You gotcha.
Yeah. My like
those have changed. Those have evolved, by the way, like over like the last 10 years. It used to just be like, hey, the casual gamer will play like Madden, maybe some racing games, maybe just a couple sports games. But now, the casual gamer gets into shooters, like Call of Duty, things like that.
Yeah. The last like RPG I played, and I remember there was like some slight controversy over this, was the remake of Final Fantasy VII. They got rid of the battle mode. I mean, you could still fight, but there wasn't that like pause and where you like click where you want to like attack and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even ask this. How do you know Ken?
Oh, dude. Way back. Out of high school. One of my high school teachers taught me how to play Magic the Gathering. And I met Kenny at a Magic tournament. Yeah, we were slinging some cards. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. And then I invited them to come because they beat me down at Magic. And I was like, man, y'all won't do that at Halo. Come on and play Halo. So we had a big LAN, and my spot was like the big party LAN spot for every weekend for years.
How old were you guys?
Probably 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
17, 18, right in there.
It just dawned on me. I have no idea how old you are.
I am 36.
Oh, I'm right behind you. I'm 32.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right behind me, bro. Last week I was 32. I'm telling you,
I know, right?
it goes quick.
Oh man. I'm just like I just realized like this, like today, I was like, oh man, in like 7 years, I'm gonna be 40. What? No, no. Oh, I just
Oof.
you gotta just stay in the present. Don't think about it. Just stay in the
Yeah,
present.
yeah.
Keep doing your
Feel
thing.
young. Feel young.
Exactly. Man, so you guys have like known each other for a long time then.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What was your high school like? Was it a pretty decent like place to go to school or
Wow. I didn't care much for my high school times. I hung out with an older crowd, you know, like by the time I was in high school, you know, me and most of my buddies at the time had like a falling out in middle school, kind of deal. It seemed like you know, a little controversial. Like, you know, I dated outside of my race as a middle schooler, and that was different at the time, I
oh
guess.
man.
And yeah, and some of their, you know, the parents were like, hey, you know, Dane's a bad influence. Don't, you know. By the time everyone got to high school, it didn't matter as much and no one really cared. But, you know, I just still kind of like stayed in my own lane at that point, you know.
Sure. Man, that's a
Yeah,
little
like
scary
two or
for
three
kids to have
friends.
that ideology that young.
Yeah, man. And like I
That's,
said, it's not it well, to be honest, it's not even them. It was more the parents
well, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
exactly.
and you know, down south it's a different culture, man. You know, whatever mom and dad say goes a lot further, regardless of what it is, you know.
Oh, I suppose I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. So do you guys like keep in touch with anybody else from your high school?
Yeah, I got like two or three buddies that I still talk to pretty consistently. Met up with them over the Christmas break, you know, played some pool, drank some beers, you know.
Chilling,
Good.
hanging out.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool,
I
man. It's kind of weird watching your friends grow up too. And you're like, you know, you're around and you know, you ask them, hey man, what are you up to now? And it's like, wow, you've
yeah.
matured. You're
Yeah,
now
like
a man, you know, like wow. It's kind of cool.
yeah, or like yeah, like they're like a pediatrician now and like it's like, oh yeah, we're adults. Hey.
Yeah. When did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so have you like invited Chris Hansen onto like your channel or Ken's channel?
Uh no. Funny fact is Ken is kind of like he's low-key terrified of doing like interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Because he's like,
They're
look,
not that
man, I
scary, I
may say
promise
I
you.
like he said I may like the guy, you know, going into it, and then after asking him a few questions, just be like, all right, whatever, dude. I'm tired of it, you know.
Just give up. Just click.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't like this guy anymore. But I was talking to him about, you know, maybe getting some of the people that we, you know, react to on there. I reached out to you ever watch 90 Day Fiance?
Of course.
You know,
Colt.
Colt and
Uh
Vanessa now, but like he was the one who was there with Larissa. He lived with his
maybe. I don't
mom
know. He
and
doesn't look familiar.
yeah, he's actually a pretty funny character from the shows. And I reached out to him on Instagram and I think they were under contract and couldn't do some, you know, couldn't say a whole lot because of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't even think of that. Yeah, if the network wants them to not really talk about it while
Be
they're
on the
filming, huh?
hush. Yeah, because he knew I was I was gonna actually before Ken, I was actually gonna instigate like a fight between Colt and Big Ed because they had a little spat on one of the tell-alls, you know, and I was just gonna ask him, like, hey
Oh
man,
no.
if it would have went down, who would have won? You know, like, can you take Ed?
Just pour a little gasoline onto the
Yeah,
fire.
exactly. Just a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh man. No, so I don't here's the thing. I don't actually watch 90 Day Fiance, but if you guys post it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of our viewership is they're like,
Yeah.
man, I couldn't handle these shows, but I'll watch
Yeah.
them through you guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't typically even watch the entire show. Like we'll pick a couple and we'll just skim through the episodes and react to just that couple, you know, or whatever, but we won't watch
Yeah.
the whole show.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think like when Big Ed first came out, like on TV, like I just remember seeing like that meme of him like everywhere, like first waking up. Like that was one meme, and then the next one was like, I brought you toothpaste. Like that was like
Oh
another
yeah.
one. But like, okay, so back to Chris Hansen. Do you listen to his podcast at all?
No, but I just recently realized that he had one. I know Ken and I reacted to something of Chris Hansen's podcast recently. And that's where I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know he was back.
At my day job, I usually listen to him and a couple other podcasts, but like I have to fast forward a lot of Chris Hansen's podcast because he reads the transcripts. And it's like
yeah.
I gotta skip a lot of that, man. It's like I get it. I don't need to hear the exact details, but it reminds you of like what a scumbag some of these guys are.
Dude, it's insane, man.
Yeah.
And now being a dad, dude, like I already am very overprotective, when it comes to like my loved ones and things. But man, dude, it's hard to trust anybody after seeing some of the people that show up on there,
Oh, I know. It's like a rabbi and like a teacher. It's like, what? And plus, like prior to the original like show, what was that, like 09, 07, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Like I don't think most of us knew how big of a problem it was.
Right. And
they're catching,
think they did know on before they started the show how many people would show up. And I think they were surprised. That's why they, tried to keep it going, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they got like 70, 100 guys in a night. It's like, oh man.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Insane.
I mean, there are some funny moments, even though it's like a serious thing. There are some like funny, memorable people, like the naked guy. Well, I can't remember what was his name. I think it was like the special man or something. I think that was his screen name. He showed up twice. Like the guy at the McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the guy that they caught like the next week or like 2 days later or something. Like, dude, what are you doing?
He's like, I was just getting something to eat. I don't know. He like turns into Colonel Clink. Like, I don't know anything.
Freaking yeah. The one guy who was like, oh, I thought I was getting arrested.
It would have been funny if like Chris Hansen was like, that is correct. You are getting arrested.
Yeah.
Speaking of top cringe moments from videos online, do you have one that comes to mind?
Yeah. Anything Nick Avocado. Anything Nick Avocado is even knowing how, it's a character.
Yeah.
God, I can't even pretend that it's funny. Like, I'm just like, get me out the whole time. It is so hard.
Yeah, I agree. I was listening. Who was I listening to today? I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about like how he's like actually low key smart for doing all these like avenues of revenue. Oh, yeah. It was Graham. It was Iced Coffee Hour. I think that was the name of it. But they were talking about he's like got like all these different avenues of like revenue. And I'm just like, that's great, but that's not something I ever want to watch, man. Like,
yeah, I can't like, who's the target audience? Like, I don't even know who the target audience would be for that. But I mean, there is one. I just don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, like, I maybe I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because like when I was like 9 or 10, I liked Tom Green. I thought he was like the funniest.
See, I like Tom Green too. Tom was different.
Granted, I don't think he was that obnoxious though.
No, with Tom, man, like, I mean, some of my funniest like memories of him is when he wasn't saying anything at all, just like blankly staring into the camera for like like 60 seconds straight. Like, that's good to me. I don't know why.
My wife gets mad at me because she'll catch me watching Tom Green and laughing. She's like, what is wrong with you? But now he's like far away from Hollywood. He's got like looks like a couple acres. Looks like he's doing pretty well.
Wow. Does he? I mean, I know he seemed out there kind of.
Yeah.
Does he still seem kind of out there? Like,
no.
Or okay, cool. So I mean, it was more of a character then.
Yeah. I know he started on public access, but I don't know like how that transitioned into MTV. Like, I'm not sure how that happened. I'm sure that was an interesting story. I gotta ask you about the stuff in your background. Like, what is that Godzilla behind you?
Oh yeah, bro. Absolutely.
I really
love Godzilla?
That was just a lucky guess.
Yeah, no, it's Godzilla for real. Sweet. Yeah.
Did you draw that?
No, I picked that up at an anime con.
Oh, okay, sweet. I always see that. I'm like, oh, I wonder if he drew that or like what the story is on that.
What's funny is this Christmas, my mom painted me 3 Godzilla paintings and I actually have them like right here. You want to see them?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So like, here's one, right?
Oh, that's like retro.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. She kind of did it with like some pour paint, Do you remember Monster Vision? Like on
Vision.
TNT.
That does look familiar. Yeah.
So they would play like a lot of the old like Godzilla movies and different kaijus and
Oh, look at that.
so as a kid, man, I was just a big fan. Every Friday night, you know, me and mom would sit on the couch and just watch some Godzilla. So it was Godzilla and Bruce Lee. Those were my two things when I was growing up.
Unfortunately, there is no Bruce Lee versus Godzilla movie.
It would have been a close one. It'd have been a close one.
That reminds me. Okay, so there's something I forgot to show Rob Deerdeck. So like, I'll just grab it real quick. You'll know what it is once you see it.
All right. Oh,
special
dude.
Buddies.
Oh, that's dope. He would have loved that.
I know. So in case we don't get you versus Ed at Creator Clash, in case we don't get Ken versus Big Ed at Creator Clash, I think I got the next best thing.
All right, what's that?
So we got Big Ed. We got Big Ed coming down to the ring.
Oh man, I don't know. That's a lot of neck there. I don't know if Ed. I could see that angle right there, though. I can see
there
that. He is. Oh, and he did that body slam on Liz during the show. So
yeah, he did on the. I forgot about that. Yeah, on the
yeah, you know he's.
Here we go.
Oh man, Team Toast. Look at that.
There we go, baby. Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, the reverse Ed is just going to town.
Punching him in the knee.
Thank God Ed didn't have anybody out there with him.
I know, right? You guys lost or something. Oh, the Ken Stunner.
The CTK Stunner.
Oh, there it is.
That'll do it.
Oh, got him.
I feel like that's how we do them every time we react to them too, you know, like. I tried to reach out to iDubbbz on Instagram, but I don't think he got it.
Oh, I think part of that is unless you have the blue check mark, I think it's really hard to message people, but I'm pretty sure his thing is like iDubbbzbusiness@gmail.com.
Yeah. I need to send an email.
I think that's it because he said that once in a video. I was like, I wonder if that's his actual like thing. You would actually do it though? I don't know if he put you against Big Ed.
No, he wouldn't. Then that'd be fine. I would use it as motivation to really get in shape, man.
It just dawned on me. What if it was you versus Ken? Oh,
I mean, we've had a few of those in the backyard. Oh, yeah. We've had a few of those in the backyard under the street light. We would like rake out because we always had a bunch of trees around, so we would rake like a circle around the street light, and we'd get out there and drink and box under the street light.
Oh, okay. So this wouldn't be your first time.
No.
Okay.
Probably, yeah, we've went at it like 3 times.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Who won?
Uh-oh.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want it.
I didn't lose. I was like, yo, he beat me down is what I thought. And then the same time, he's like, no, dude, you beat me down. We were both probably a little too intoxicated for it to matter. But all I know is afterwards, we rode to McDonald's and he was trying to buy me a double cheeseburger. And I couldn't bite down on my jaw because I had taken a hit and I was just like, That's why I think you won this one. But he told me I definitely won the last one we had. So
and this was like last week this happened.
Oh shit. Yeah. 15 years ago, all our stories. I haven't been a real person for like 15, 16 years. So
oh really? I mean, like it's fun to like box for fun, but I mean, as far as doing like an actual like fight, I don't know. I'd rather MC the event, or like I said, do commentary. That just seems way less stressful.
I just love the sport, dude. I don't know what it is. Like, I just really enjoy it. You know, actually, I got Kodo not Kodo.
Oh, that's right.
Mello and Triple G back here. I got an autographed picture of Manny Pacquiao when he was fighting Kodo. Just not back here. I got it in the other room. Yeah, I'm a big boxing fan.
Do you follow like UFC then too?
Sometimes I did up until probably 2 years ago, and then I just kind of felt like the star power was falling off, and so it was harder to stay in.
Did you watch the whole Creator Clash then, the first one?
I watched most of it. iDubbbz actually really surprised me.
Oh,
I
same
know
here. Yeah.
I know, like watching Ian train, I was like, all right, he's putting this training serious. And then he got in there and showed nothing but heart. Like he was getting tagged and would still come back,
Yeah.
like he
Yeah.
showed he had some dog.
Yeah. I mean, and he looked like bigger.
Yep.
His footwork was on point. It was like, okay, he's taking this like super seriously.
Yeah. And, unfortunately, bad matchup for him or maybe nerves. I don't know, but inexperienced nonetheless. You could tell he looked a little not uncomfortable, So
I mean, I would definitely not be comfortable in the same situation. I'd probably be like throwing
and
up.
that's the key to that's just the key to it, is being in there sparring enough to where, like, because when you're in that situation, you're all tense, if you're not
Yeah.
experienced. But when you've done it a lot, you're like, all right, now this is normal. Is Ian fighting on the next Creator Clash?
I don't know. I know he said they're planning to have a second one, but as far as when that's going to be, I'm assuming sometime like this year.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in the spring.
But you should definitely hit him up again.
Yeah, I really would like to, man. It'd be good motivation for me to get in the gym and eat right. My problem is, man, I moved up here and the food is so good. Like there's just good food all around me all the time, man. It's crazy.
my trick for if I'm craving something sweet, I'll just have sugar-free coffee. That's my trick.
Yeah.
You have merch?
I've been talking about merch for a while, but I just now got like a logo and a design out. I got a little sticker over here, just it was a trial run. I've been trying to get feedback, I guess, to see what I want, what I like. And I'll be honest, I don't really know much about doing merch at all anyway. So it's kind of like
we're in the same boat.
It's kind of like, what is the right avenue? What's the next step? And then from every time I look into it, most people even tell me, it's really just, it's not to make that much money. It's really more so for the fans, the percentages apparently, if you go through another company, aren't usually the best, but you want your fans to be able to rep, and that's kind of my motivation to get some out.
So where else can people check you out at? Like you're on Twitch, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, my Twitter, actually all my major accounts got hacked at some point last year.
Oh no.
And yeah, I ended up losing my Twitter. My Twitter got deleted after getting hacked and turned into a crypto something. Yeah. So I've had to restart my Twitter, but it's still the same at BuffTron, at BuffPro for everything else,
BuffPro. Sounds like a fitness like brand or something.
Yeah, and then you see this fat guy up here,
Check him out. Hit him up on and then also you're on CinnamonToastKen's channel as well.
Yeah. I'm there at least 5-6 days a week at this point. So
all right, man. Thanks for coming on.
no, thanks for having me, man. I had a blast.